All right, guys, I wanted to wait until they were finished with the press conference to get on here and, do sort of a recap. So I just want to look at the facts since, we didn't get a clear understanding about, is this man a Republican? Is he a Democrat? And first off, think about how sadistic it is that we're sitting here. And that's literally what everyone is listening for. Nobody really cares. What's his name? We're all just like, okay, which team was he playing for? Because that is how polarized our country is, principally because of people like Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump. Okay, so let's recap the facts. They said he's become more political in recent years. Who the fuck hasn't? All right. He lives in Utah, principally a Republican state. All right, look at the shirt that he was wearing during the shooting, covered in flags and whatever. But I mean, you could be wearing that to try to fit in with all the other people. So that's not really here nor there, but just wanted to mention it. And what always incessantly irritates the piss out of me is that when you have these things happening, you have the law enforcement up there, chest pounding about how amazing they are. Okay, guys, you put out pictures and the family turned him in. All right. It's not like, so when Cash Patel's up there, acting like they're the greatest thing on whatever. I mean, I'm sorry. You put out pictures, the public identified him and turned him in. I'm not saying you didn't have a hand in it, but let's keep it 100. Okay. I'm so pissed off about the way that guy got up there, right? I don't know who he was, maybe the mayor, governor, whatever. And he was basically, I thought he was doing like a sort of what you'd expect the president to do if we had a normal president, right? Where he was basically saying like, hey guys, let's take the temperature down, okay? Because like political violence, it's not cool, regardless of party affiliation. And he was going on in that vein for a moment. And then he was talking about the inscriptions on the casings of the, whatever. And basically what the reporter was asking without asking was like, okay, which team does this guy play for, basically, right? Because it's the fucking Hunger Games in the United States now. And anyway, and he says, well, it said, hey, fascist, catch. So I guess that's all you need to know. I mean, so you come out of your mouth on one side of your face and you say that, like, hey, we need to bring the temperature down. And like, we don't want to return basically bang for bang, whatever. Like, everybody calm down. And then you basically turn around and point the finger and say, but actually, dead ass, it was probably the Dems because look what it said. So this would be a great opportunity for me to come on here and remind y'all that when Obama was president, boy, they hurled the word fascist at him, even though it applied in no way whatsoever. So fascist isn't owned by the liberals, okay? Just because the most human embodiment of fascism that's ever walked, the earth in the United States as the president is dump. That's why we call him that, all right? But again, the people on the left, they don't own that term exclusively. And honest to God, I'm so sickened by the fact that the thing that we all care the most about, again, I know this will be the third time I've said it, but that's how much it irritates me, is which team does this guy play for, right? Instead of just being like, this is so fucked up, like this should not have happened. Even if you hated the guy, and trust me, well, I don't hate anybody, but I was not a fan, all right? But still, I really genuinely wish that had not happened for a gazillion reasons, all right? Not the least of which is the shit show that is going to happen now. I'm sure you guys are not blind and you've been online and you've heard all the, people on the right basically calling for the extermination of all the Dems, okay, and liberals, which is wild as fuck considering that when one of their crazy ass MAGA fucks mowed down, Hartman, I didn't, I'm sorry, like maybe I missed it. I was on a coffee break. Y'all let me know. I didn't see anybody on the left calling for that. And when that crazy person broke in and attacked Pelosi's husband, I didn't see anybody. And even on J6, when you, calm down. When y'all tried to overthrow the United States government, okay, and take an election that you did not legitimately win, I did not hear calls for violence. I didn't hear that, all right? But you hear it over here on the right, and principally, I don't know which way I'm pointing right now, because it's one way to me and another way to y'all, whatever. The fact that the president has basically been egging this on, and he's been on television, like, why would you run your mouth and say that you want the death penalty for somebody? Which obviously could complicate legal proceedings at trial. Like, so dumb, but it's Trump, so, what the fuck do you expect? Y'all let me know what you think. I mean, honestly, I'm at the point where I don't really give a shit what party he was. Obviously, I don't want him to have been a Democrat, okay? Because I don't want the blowback from the right, because, you know, these people are like wound. It's like a car when you pull it back and, you know, there's like all that tension and you can kind of feel it, and then you release it and it's like, that's what I fear will happen if it comes out that this Tyler kid was a Democrat, which, given the fact that he lived in Utah and all the other things, I mean, look, let me close by saying this. I don't think that just because you say, hey, fascist, catch, or whatever, apparently he said to his family that he didn't like Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry, but I would be willing to bet. I don't know personally, okay, because I don't really like kick it with Republicans like that. I would bet a fair amount of them don't really like Charlie Kirk, all right? So it isn't like, oh, everybody on the left hates Charlie Kirk and everybody on the right loves Charlie Kirk. Just like, you know, there are a lot of people who hate certain people, I keep using that word, who dislike people on the left, who you would think like them, like Hakeem Jeffries or whatever, all right? So, you know, everybody keep an open mind and you know, tap the fucking brakes, people. Let's calm down, because violence for violence, it's not, guys, the Civil War was not romantic, all right? And it's not going to, I swear to God, it's like the right romanticizes, like, oh, you know, this revolution will be bloodless if the left lets it. Like, and then be out here wondering how we got here. You know, evil thoughts turn into evil words, turn into evil actions. Like, that's her, I think it's violent thoughts, violent, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. That this is how we got here, okay? And that's why I never understand when they're like, oh, the hateful left. Like, what? We're hateful because we want to include people, and like we don't want everybody telling everybody how to live their life. Like, okay, whatever. Regardless, I wish this hadn't happened. I hope everybody takes a beat, okay, and calms the fuck down, because we are really in a moment right here where things are going to go one way or the other. And I can tell you, for me and mine, okay, and on this page, this channel, I'm not advocating for violence. I don't care what side. I wouldn't care if it was somebody on the left who had been assassinated. I wouldn't be calling for political violence. It's wrong. It's not the appropriate response. It's an emotional response, okay, to a problem which has been brewing for a decade. So it's not surprising that we got here. Y'all, stay safe, keep your head on a swivel, you know, and calm down. Just let's try to diffuse the situation.